Okay.
Hi, good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, Raven. Hi, everybody. We're here with Raven Shamballa one more time, and we are bringing you these updates of our conversations because, as she said last time, we do have these conversations where a lot of information we want to share with everybody else. So today I wanted to ask Raven, again, thank you for being here with us and sharing your channeled information. I was curious about the angel levels. It's not something that is known, or at least I haven't seen a lot of information being brought to us. So could you please share with us what the angel levels are? Who are the angel levels that are on the earth now, and what each level means?
Okay. So in my psychic readings, one of the things that I tell people is their soulful age. And it's kind of a little bit complex because what I started to realize when I was interviewing people through my therapy practice was, their younger souls and their older souls. And then from that line of questioning with the ascended masters, they ended up saying, well, there are a whole bunch of different classes of angels, and lots of people from heaven have started to incarnate. So I asked, well, can you tell me more about that? And they said there are 12 levels of angels. And they discussed that as like a curriculum that an angel would go through as it's evolving spiritually. And in my next book, A Thousand Realms of Light, I'm going to write about this in great detail because there's a lot of information. And every category of angel is a lot of time and curriculum and process.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about that in more detail at a different time. But to answer your question, they said that there are 12 levels of angels, and 4 of those classes are incarnating on the earth currently. And that when I meet with someone, I tell them, what is their soulful age? What is their angel level? Not in this podcast, but in another one, there's a couple of other older soul light worker classes that are incarnating, which is the Imperial Masters, the Master class, and the Ascended Master Fragments. So it's a lot of information, so I'm just going to focus on the angel levels. So they told me that there were 4 classes of angels that are incarnating on Earth. Angel level 1s, angel level 4s, angel level 10s, and angel level 12s. And the way that they explained it to me was Earth is a mixed dimensional environment, and it's meant to be a testing ground for younger souls who want to have an experience separate from God or separate from heaven. So they kind of create these planets where they have free will and choice and the ability to kind of grow. And angel level 1s are younger souls. They're called angels because all angels are born in heaven. Everyone's born in heaven originally, or in an astral plane or planet or territory. And then after some time, in order to evolve the soul, they will send them into incarnation. So angel level 1 is primarily what our planet was set up for, younger souls. Angel level 1s, they tend to not be very spiritual. They tend to be more materialistic because they're on the wheel of karma, as the Hindus have described 1,000 lifetimes in all different forms and shapes to gain experience. They have a lot of karma. Depending on their karma, some are better off than others. It just depends on their own specific journey. Angel level 4s, they started to incarnate in about 500 years ago. Um, Angel level 4s have not yet earned their wings. So they're considered to be middle-aged, almost middle-aged angels. And a lot there's a lot of angel level 4s around. They tend to be, again, they may be spiritual, but angel level 1s and 4s tend to prefer religion, very defined paths, what they know is safe. And the angel level 4s are, they tend to be a little bit more wise, a little bit more grounded, good people. If their karma is good, they tend to be good people. But they're still not very spiritual, and they're still in a growth mode where they have their curriculums are focused on their own individual growth. So, they're still interested in real estate and taxes and uh, material home and, basic good people, but maybe not so spiritual. About 200 years ago, as we're starting to approach what I've been calling the descent, what the Christians call the end times, uh, kind of a need for a change on the earth, heaven recognized that they needed more enlightened people incarnate on the earth. And they started to incarnate in angel level 10s and angel level 12s. Okay. Now, if you go online and you look at the New Age messages on this, these are the crystalline children, the rainbow children, the indigo children, the 3 waves of volunteers, which is what Dolores Cannon called the advanced souls that were coming in. So different psychic healers have recognized, oh, these are advanced children or these are advanced souls, and they have given them these names in the last 20 years since they started to be more and more recognized. So my team just said, well, there's angel levels 10 and angel level 12s. They're all different names online. So if you're an indigo, you're most likely an angel level 10. And where that came from was the reader that came up with that title wrote a book called The Indigo Children, and she noticed that the younger children all had an outer auric field that was of indigo color, and that they were wise beyond their years, and that their third eye and their crown chakras were already open in some cases. And so she started calling them the indigo children. I just call them angel level 10s. Angel level 10s and 12s have already earned their wings. Both categories of angels have already been etheric angels to galactics on other planets. So they're very, very old souls. And for my work, that's who I most likely am attracted, is the angel level 10s and the angel level 12s, because they come in and they're already attuned to higher frequencies, multi-dimensions, starseed work, frequencies, sound bowls, healing with light energy or Reiki. They come with a very strong desire to be healers or be helpers. And again, depending on their karma, will determine where they land every time. Both categories of angels are very psychic, and especially the angel level 12s. What I've been noticing in the private clients lately is the angel level 12s tend to be working more 8th dimensional, and the angel level 10s are working more 5th dimensional. And then the angel level 12s can do both. So fifth and eighth, and then the angel level 10s are fifth dimensional. There's a lot I could say here, a lot. That's why I need to organize it into writing. The angel level 10s and 12s have 200 chakras, and which gives them more spiritual aptitude. They're the yoga teachers, they're the people that want to do Reiki and energy healing, or they can also be very third dimensional, but with a strong desire to be a lawyer for justice or to be a doctor to heal people through the medical institution. So I see them in both fashions. The ones that come in psychic and ready to go and wanting to be healers and or save the earth or make a small imprint on the earth, and then the ones that you wouldn't suspect them to be older angels, because they've spent this lifetime in the third dimension as a lawyer or as a educator or something that keeps them very focused in the third dimension. But when you meet them or talk to them, they are here to heal the world or heal other people with a very strong sense of that. Like they'll become a lawyer because they want to change the system rather than they become a lawyer because they want to make $250 an hour. So there are higher frequency angels that are taking on those kinds of positions in the world right now. Do you have any other questions on that before we check out? I could talk a lot more about it.
I would be curious as to, you said your work attracts more angel level 10s. So can you give us a percentage of how many angel level 10s there are in the earth right now?
It's about a third. When you look at angel level 10s, angel level 12s, Imperial masters, and ascended master fragments, if you look at all of the categories, they tell me that about a third or 30% are light workers. And I wrote about that in the 10 cosmic dimensions. But then when the question is, but how many of them are awake and conscious of who they are?
Yes.
And then it's more like 5 to 7% of the 1/3. And there's also a lot of the angel level 10s, they don't have great karma. They have been discouraged by the earth plane. They're sick of it. They're in resistance. They don't understand, why am I here among such ruffians? Why is everyone so aggressive and so violent? How come I have to work 50 hours a week just to make a living? What did I do to deserve to be here? They kind of have a very resistant attitude, and they don't understand that heaven asked for volunteers, and in their angelic form, they said, yes, I'll go down to earth and be present during this time of the descent for the younger souls on the planet. Heaven knew that they needed people on the ground, so they sent us in. The issue is that every single time we wake up, we have no recollection of where we're from unless we do the spiritual work and start to wake up. So, there'll be an internal desire to meditate or find a teacher. They'll find me, Sometimes I get kids really young and I'm like, I'm so glad you're hearing this message at age 14. I can't wait to, know where you're at in 10 years or 20 years. Sometimes I've had angel level 10s in my practice. Now, there's different curriculums and different journeys. So the angel level 10s are doing 100 lifetimes on Earth.
Wow.
And they're doing 200 lifetimes on 2 of the positive starseed planets like Palladia, Sirian, or Orion. So it's still 100 lifetimes on Earth. And every time you're down here, if you are not practicing or if you go left off of path because you picked up an addiction or a vice, you pick up karma. So when I do my readings, sometimes I get angels and I'm like, wow, you're nearly clear to the 100 chakra and good for you. Your karma's good. You're on path. Other times I'll get people who are suicidal and they're like, I just want to get off this planet. And I just, I do not want to be here anymore. And then I'll start to look at their past lives and I'll be like, yeah, you've committed suicide like the last 3 times. You got to get over that and you got to remember who you are. And as soon as they start to clear their chakra line and get back in alignment and start to understand the true purpose of why they incarnated on this dark world, then they become enlightened very quickly. The angel level 12s, smaller percentage, they have big purpose on the higher frequencies. They not only are responsible for mastery in the 3rd dimension, meaning you have a strong vocation and you know how to support yourself and you can deal with whatever you've created. They also have big life purposes in dream time, in astral travel time on these higher frequencies. So I'll talk about that, or ask me again about that. But the more and more I do psychic readings, the more and more I understand why they incarnated in the angels. We're actually, for our work in the higher dimensions, it's better for us to be incarnated. We're actually more safe. And I'll explain that at a different time. It's just a lot of information.
Thank you, Raven.
Yeah. And if there's any follow-up questions on this, I'm sure there will be. You can put them in the comment section. And then also remember, I do plan to write very detailed information on these topics in an organized way in the next book. So more information on this coming forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Raven.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Claudia.
See you next time.
All right. God bless. Many blessings to everyone.